again, everybody. This is Mr. Everything, and I am coming at you with another Star Citizen stream or video. And this video is about the recent bannings and some of the actions taken by CIG against some of the community members. I wouldn't be a very good streamer if I didn't share my thoughts about what's going on and give you my opinion and just basically just sit here and talk to you about my take on this situation. Now, there's a couple of disclaimers that I want to use, and one of them is I don't claim to be a very good Star Citizen streamer. I stream time to time. Sometimes I go live, sometimes I do recordings like this. It's not I'm not on the regular. I don't make a living doing this. Okay, so I just wanted to put that out. I felt strong enough that about this subject that I needed to get on here and at least talk about it, at least give you my opinion, and sometimes I'm long-winded and things like that. So just bear with me when hopefully I'll get to all the points that I want to share. I don't have any notes down. It's all upstairs in my head. Okay, so another disclaimer is I was not affected by these bans, so I did not actually receive any of these emails, but I got the gist of what was going on and why the actions were taken. And okay, so I feel, and I've been gaming since the Abacus, so I'm not a young gamer. I would consider myself one of the older Star Citizen gamers. Just throwing that out there. Okay, so I just wanted to point this out. I just wanted to kind of talk a little bit about what was that? Okay, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the not different opinions, but different perspectives of that were impacted by these bans. Okay, I'm going to try to come at it from a variety of different angles so that you can understand where these participants were coming from. First of all, you got the game company CIG, and they are the moderator. They're the ones that are going to implement any rules, or they have to, in their own mind, they have to try to be fair to the community. But at the same time, now think about this, same time they have to be fair to themselves, because they are a separate entity. No matter how much you think they are also just your best buds, they are not. They are the judge, right? You're in a court of law. They are the judge. They are not your friend. They're trying to make everything that takes place fair for all parties concerned. Okay, so understand that. And then you have okay, so let me kind of explain what I understand was happening. There was a group of people, an organization that was that saw an opportunity to take advantage of some other community members that were streaming live on the internet. Okay, on either Twitch or YouTube. I believe it was Twitch, but it might have been also YouTube. I don't know. But either way, they were streaming their activities live. So this other group could see what was going on, where they were, what they were doing, and they followed them and engaged them with hostile intent. And so some of the perspectives would be also let me back this up. The people that were streaming live were some famous YouTubers, or they have other channels, other that do other things, and one of them was the host, and he had guests, and these guests were trying Star Citizen out after having been away for a long time, and he was trying to show them the progress, and okay, and he couldn't, because he was constantly being jumped by these quote unquote PvP players. Okay. So you get the kind of gist. Now you got the CIG angle where they got to be fair to everybody, and then there is the host that is streaming, and he's getting attacked by these PvP players, and but you also have to think of it from a couple of different angles as well. You have to think of it from the people performing the PvP, or the aggressors. I'll call them the aggressors. But then you also have to think of it from, and this is kind of where I'm coming at it from. You got to think of it from the guest of the host. The streamers that have a very large following are coming on to this game, checking it out, seeing what it's all about, and they're also getting attacked because they're on this other gentleman's stream. Okay, so here's my opinions. Okay, now that you're up to date, up to speed, I want to say this. How do I say this? Okay, if there was no guest, and there was just the host, right? And he was just live streaming his activities, going around, doing his thing. He has taken it upon himself to stream this. Okay, so he is putting it out there in the world that he's doing this and he's doing that. And it's and I stream from time to time. When I stream, if someone watches my stream and they hunt for me and they find me and they kill me, I want to say that as a streamer, I knew what I was getting myself into. I knew that there were people out there that are, what do they call them? Stream snipers, where they want to make a name for themselves, or they want to get on camera. You see this in the real world. When I used to live in Hawaii a long time ago, a long time ago. They were filming a Hawaii Five-O episode in my neighborhood. Believe it or not, they filmed Hawaii Five-O in Hawaii, and I'm just a little kid, but when they're filming, there were crowds forming, and there were people trying to get on camera, and it was a whole ordeal. Not me, of course, because I'm perfect in every way, but there were family members, there were kids, there were dogs, there was just all kinds of things just trying to get on camera because they're filming it in a real neighborhood. They're not filming on stage or something like that. That is basically the same thing that these stream snipers are trying to do. They're trying to get on camera because they can't take it upon themselves to stream themselves, or they are streaming themselves and they are streaming to their audience. Hey, there's this other streamer out there. Let's go kill him, right? Okay, so as a streamer, I know that there's these guys out there that are going to be doing this. Does that make it right? No, that's not right. It's not ethical. It's not there's no moral that says it's okay. That's just not some people say, hey, that guy's a dick, or that guy he's just a jerk or whatever. Well, if there's a discussion about it, like we're having right now, if there's any kind of discussion about it, then there's something somewhere in the back of your mind that tells you it's wrong. If you have to think about it and talk about it, it's probably wrong. Okay, so, but as a streamer, as the victim, we'll call myself the victim. And again, I was not a participant in this. I did not receive an email. I don't know this firsthand. This is all secondhand knowledge. But I'm going to say, as a streamer, if I'm a victim, yes, that guy did something wrong. The guy chased me down and he killed me. I wouldn't call it griefing because he had a motivation that was selfish to like promote his channel or get on my channel. So he had a legitimate, even though it's wrong, he had a legitimate motivation. So I wouldn't call it griefing, but I would call it a dick move or whatever. But I'm not gonna cry about it. I'm going to respawn and move on, right? Respawn and move on. And I heard people say things like, well then, and if it happens a lot, just switch servers. Well, as a streamer, I probably would do that. But as a player, if you have friends and they're doing things on the server, you don't want to be the guy that switches servers, or you don't want to have everybody try to switch servers. And especially now during alpha, when getting yourself and your friends on the same server can be an ordeal, especially when, there's a limit on how many you can have on a server, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so I don't think switching servers is a legitimate defense, or it shouldn't be incumbent upon the victim to have to do anything. It should yeah, there you shouldn't have to punish the victim. He's getting double whammied, right? Okay. Uh, okay. But personally, I don't cry about stuff like that. I mean, there are people that will cry, and I get it. I understand where they're coming from. Okay, so now let's look at it from the that's the host. Now let's look at it from the guest's point of view, right? The guest um, has like bought a package for Star Citizen like 20 years ago, and his buddy just said, "Hey, come check out Star Citizen because they made a lot of progress and it's going to be really cool, and let's have a lot of fun together and blah blah blah." So these this huge, I'm going to say huge streamer comes on. uh, I've watched his stream, his videos, and but none of them were gaming videos. Even though you just know if you're in the tech field or you're in any kind of you're a geek, you know. And so this guy was playing, and of course they're fooling around, they're shooting each other, they're running around a Carrack and all that, and getting stuck in the walls. Uh, he he seemed like he wasn't. I'm not going to say he wasn't enjoying himself, but it seemed like he was uh, a little frustrated. He was a little frustrated. But that's about when I turned off the video. I stopped watching because it was an extremely long video, and so I know the video that they're talking about, the live stream that they were talking about. I was actually I watched it like days later because I saw who was in the stream. I said, "Oh, he plays Star Citizen. Okay, let me go check that out." Uh, but there really wasn't anything going on. So what must have happened after, because I think they were being chased when I left the stream, but they're he must have gotten killed for no reason, or the ship blown up, or something like this must have happened, and it probably frustrated him even more because he was. You could tell that it was getting frustrating for this guy because he didn't know how to do anything because he had never played this game. And I'm gonna say this game, Star Citizen, has a very steep learning curve. If you don't play pretty regularly, or at least once in a while, once every quarter or something, if you don't play with each patch, then you're going to be out of touch. You're not going to know what's new. You're not going to know what's out there, and that's great if the game was complete and it was a released product, and you were starting new like everyone else, and you were like, "Oh, this is so cool. Let me get in my ship and let me fly it around and let me fight this pirate and let me go do this cargo haul or something." The first time of everything is great, but when you are the new guy and everyone else has played this game for 20 years now, it can be overwhelming because you're not progressing slowly like a new guy should, right? So I feel like this guest was not getting a very good experience. His host could not show him things because he had to deal with these assholes, and then the guest couldn't enjoy himself. Okay. Now let's talk about this from the asshole's point of view. Okay, so there there are these players in the community that yearn for challenging competition, and uh, the game does not provide that to them yet, right? The game is incomplete. It doesn't have a lot of challenging competition in it. So they have to make their own challenging situations. Okay, so and okay, that's good motivation, right? But what they but they go about it in what I consider the wrong way. They take their demands, their their motivated, I don't know, goals or whatever, and they make you fulfill them for them. So they take you and they say, hey, Mr. Everything, I'm going to make you fight me so that I selfishly get a challenge. Okay, so I have to stop doing whatever I'm doing. I have to turn around and I have to fight these guys. And so they get what they want and they take from me what I didn't want to give them. Right? So it's very selfish in that they take it from you even if you didn't want to give it to them. Okay, so now let's go. Part of their philosophy is, or part of their mentality, I should say, is they expect that you, as the target of their aggression, understand that this is a open world game and that you could be attacked at any time. True, right? This is an open world game, and I should be able to be attacked at any time. I agree with that, but I also understand that this is an alpha. All of the mechanics in the game are not in the game yet that would deter you as an aggressor. There's no death of a spaceman in the game right now. The punishments aren't really in the game right now. There are some criminal levels and there are some prison time, but Reputation is coming in real soon, as well as Death of a Spaceman. When both of those are implemented, I think it will help deter these guys that want to impose their will upon you. Okay, so I'm not saying piracy is bad. Understand this. I'm not saying that. I think piracy is 100% within the scope of the game. I think that if there were no pirates in the game, then there would be no reason for bounty hunters, or there would be no reason for organizations like mine. My organization is an anti-smuggling, anti-piracy type organization. We escort like cargo ships and things like this to get from point A to point B. Well, that's not good. Okay, so we just got disconnected, and instead of like getting back in my ship and flying back out somewhere, I decided to just jump into a hangar. to give you my final thoughts here. The my point is, or what I'm trying to say is that the CIG banned these. They My understanding is that they sent them a warning saying don't do this kind of thing, because I think they also raided the Daymar Rally. The Daymar Rally is kind of an in-game race. You race around and you try to win, and it's broadcast on a number of different streams. So these guys jumped onto the stream. They found out exactly when and where these guys were, and they stream sniped them, which kind of lends me to believe if they've got a warning for that, and then they did some more pad ramming where they take their ship and they ram it into another ship, or they just attack people out in the middle of nowhere for no reason. It it kind of gives me a bad feeling, or a bad impression of this organization, because apparently it's not just one guy. It was a whole organization, or at least a faction within an organization, and I think the organization leader is motivating, or what's the word I'm looking for? He's let me think about this. He assisted in, or not assisted, he encouraged, that's the word I was looking for. So it seems like he encouraged this whole activity, or this type of activity, and that leads me to believe that he's not a good person. He's selfish, and desires to bring tears to other people, or he's lazy because he can't find any other. These glasses, man, they cause my eyes just to droop and sag. I have to like really force myself to keep my eyes like wide open just so I can have open eyes in the game. Yeah, if he can't find something to do, he has to look for somebody's stream so that he can get on their stream and do something like that. And to me, that's just lazy. That's just laziness. And also, if how do I say this? If they find enjoyment in this type of activity, where they constantly have to do it to get their rocks off, then there's some underlying not underlying symptom, or no, this is a symptom, underlying condition that is they need to talk to a psychiatrist. They need to find out why they have these kinds of feelings, why they're motivated by this. Now I don't mind PvP. I think PvP is fun. I think player versus player combat is exciting. But I also think it should be mutual. It should not be, or now it doesn't have to be mutual if you get a reward for it. And that's why I was talking about piracy earlier. If Is it because I'm so close here? Hold on. I don't know if my camera position has anything to do with it, but I noticed that depending on which way I'm looking with the camera, my FPS actually changes. I think that if I turn all the way around and you can see, yep, look at that, my FPS just dropped way down. But when my back is against this wall over here, my FPS comes up. That's weird. Okay. Okay, so where was I going? Okay, if you're a pirate and let me back this up. If there were any mechanics in the game that rewarded piracy, let's say I'm flying from point A to point B with a full cargo hold with the most valuable cargo there is, and you jump me and demand payment because I've got this great cargo, and I either have to pay you or get blown up, or we fight and I blow up, then that was my choice to fight or not fight or whatever. But the point of it wasn't to fight. The point was for the pirate to get credits. So they were going to take my cargo and they were going to sell it off or whatever. But just shooting someone in space just because you need some kind of excitement in your life, that's not good enough. You know, piracy is going to be fun. There's going to be merchants that need protection, and they will hire the 1st Naval Aerospace Squadron to escort them, and we will enjoy defending you. So if a pirate jumps you, you can rely on us to PvP for you, right? While you run off, we'll take the hit, and that's why you paid us. You paid us to do that. See, so we've got motivation to PvP for you. The pirates have motivation to PvP because they're going to get, if they get past us, or even if they think we're not there and they think you're an easy prey, they will get credits or they will get reward, right? But just to follow some streamer down and shoot him and blow him up because it gets your rocks off, you need to have yourself checked out, because there's something not exactly right with you. And that's my point. It's not griefing because, in my opinion, griefing, I know that there are a lot of different people have different opinions of what griefing is, and it's changed over the years. But the definition of grief is, now in the broadest terms, means that you cause pain or suffering to someone else. So I heard someone say, and I disagree with this, but I heard someone say, oh, if it only happens once or twice, it's not griefing. It has to be constant harassment to be considered griefing. And I'm like, no, griefing and harassment are two different things. If you go after me constantly, that is harassment. That is also considered bullying or cyberbullying. But griefing is not that. Griefing you could do it once and it be griefing. Griefing is when you kill someone without reward. In-game reward. Because you might feel some kind of motivation or some kind of excitement to get this kill. But if you do that, that's griefing. Period. One time griefing. So I heard somebody, I think it was, I don't remember who it was, HG Vertigo, I think. He said that he made a suggestion. If you shoot somebody and kill them once, and it would be like getting a crime stat or whatever, then get your crime stat like you normally would, but also get a warning that that you're I don't remember, maybe it was pad ramming or something. It was something where one time gets you a warning and the second time gets you banned. And I was thinking to myself, that's a little extreme, but it'll get the word out, that they don't tolerate it anymore. And I think that's what happened here. I think they did one thing at one point, maybe a month ago, and they got warned, and then they did it again, and they got banned. Now, are they banned permanently? No, it's like a timeout. They timed them out, and I think that was fair. I think it was fair, and if they come back into the game after their suspension, and they do it again, then I think it needs to be a permanent ban. Permanent, harsh, full on. Delete their accounts. I know that there's and here's my final thought. I know there's a lot of people out there that talk about Care Bears, don't want to get shot at because they're pansies or wusses or whatever you want to call it. And I'm going to say no. That's not the case. Like myself, like me, I enjoy PvP. If you contact me, and say, hey, Mr. Everything, we're gonna do this thing over here, and do you want to play? You can be on one side, we can be on the other, and we'll blast each other out of the sky. I will be all over that. That is something that I would be super into something like that. Or if you say, hey, come on over here to Arena Commander and we're going to be doing this thing on this day, I would be all over that. So PvP I have no problem with. The problem I have is my time. You as a and I use this word sparingly or without, because there's a lack of another word. PvPer, that's not really what you are. You're basically a dick. But if you are a PvPer and you just fly around forcing other people to PvP with you, then you are the dick. Not the one that quantums away or runs into an armistice zone. Who was it? Salty Mike, I think he said, if you get shot at and you run into an armistice zone to avoid the fight, then the person who engaged you lost. Because you're doing what is available to you to get away from your opponent. So, you use the full extent of your abilities to get away, and you did. And I agree with that. But okay, this video has gone on way too long, and I've kind of beat a dead horse with a with a dead rabbit or whatever. How's that saying go? I don't know. Beat a dead horse with a walking stick. Nope, that ain't right. All right, so I'm going to have to say goodnight, and thank you for coming out and watching this video. When 313 goes live, oh, by the way, I'm playing 313 on Evocati, but it's nothing. It's a quality of life patch. It's not. Now there are some features. I don't know. I don't want to spoil anything, but when 313 goes to open PTU, then I'll stream a few times, and if you want to find me, come snipe me, whatever, that's fine. All right, guys, I'll catch you next time.